Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, Mr. Sealy P. It's Tuesday the 12th of January. We have a load of new mods and we have some updates. The updates are as follows. So from top left, the Lizard Slurry Tank 2700 by BGamer003 and Bergmeister has had an update. The Case IH Magnum US series and the Case IH AFS Connect Magnum, both by Carl Farms, have had an update. However, thank you very much to DJ Goham for messaging me about this. There's a bit of controversy. If you want to keep the 3D tracks that it's got on it now, do not update these. The update takes them away because apparently there's some controversy over where the 3D track thing came from. So I didn't tell you this, but if you want to keep the 3D tracks, don't update them. If you update them, you'll lose the 3D tracks. Just so you know. Thank you, DJ. Much appreciated. The Massey by Andres Roca, that has had an update, so that one all spreads seed as well as fertilizers. You can seed with it. And the Agco NG 1100 by STv-Modding has had an update. The Placeable Buying Silos by McKnightG, the update, part of the update is console release. We're going to have a look at those in a minute. But all of those have been updated today. So, directly in front of me, we've got the old fuel tank. This is by gamerhzs, 8.05 megabytes download, 20 slots on console. This is a buy point for diesel. Very nicely detailed. The bushes don't come with that. That's just part of the map. It's just where I ended up putting it down. But it has got a few bits and bobs around it. And you buy your diesel. We're going to show that in just a second. This you will find under placeables, under miscellaneous. Under there is down as gas station. On the mod hub it's down as old fuel tank, but it's a gas station. 3,500 to buy. And as I already said, 20 slots to place for the first one. Now, behind that we've got this, and I'm going to use both of them at the same time. This is the diesel tanks by JJ, 5.33 megabytes download, 3 slots on console. This will hold, I think it's 100,000 litres of diesel. You'll find it under silos. The lights come on automatically at night. This you'll find under placeables and silos. There you go, diesel storage tanks, 25,000 to buy, 100,000 litre capacity. And only 3 slots, which is pretty cool. Really nicely detailed. Nice crash barrier around it. Obviously know how I usually drive, so what I've got is a tanker, and we'll use both. Oh, it's fairly slow, I'll be honest with you. The gas station takes a little while, but it should do. Well, that's weird because that did that last time. Yeah, weirdly, the first time you click on it and press X, it doesn't do. It does a blip, and then you have to do it again, and it works. I don't know why. That's like a fail-safe system. We don't need a lot of diesel in here to prove the point. It is filling up. We'll stop there. If I swing around to the diesel tanks for storage, we should get it come up saying overload diesel. And there we go. So we've taken diesel from the gas station, put it into the storage tanks. That's the first 2 mods covered. So that's the diesel tanks by JJ and the old fuel tank gas station by gamerhzs. Moving on from that, this was showing up as an update, but this is a new mod to console, and we have actually got 2. The mod hub was only showing 1, but there are 2 here. We've got the placeable buying station, which is this one over here, and then we've got the placeable, placeable buying stations. Then we've got the placeable fillable silos. So as you can see, we've got an in and we've got an out. So we've got 2 sets to look at, both by the same modder, by McKnightG. The buying stations, that does say all in one, but there are loads. We'll have a look at them in just a second. The buying stations are 15.8 megabytes to download, 3 slots for each of them. So if you decided to place individually, you can. Again, we're in that situation, to my mind, I would go for the all-in-one, but you know, it's entirely your choice. And then the fillable silos are 7 slots each, 19.75 megabytes to download. So we've got 2 here. You'll find the fillable silos under silos, starting at the end with the all-in-one silo. So these are 100,000 litres as well. The all-in-one will hold all the things that the individual ones will hold, 100,000 litres of each for 15 grand. And as we go across, as you'll see, that's 1 slot now because I've already placed one, but the rest are 7 slots each. So you've got one for chaff, chicken feed, fertiliser, grass, horse feed, which will be oats, lime, pig feed, salt. The salt silo, you need to have seasons mod, otherwise it won't work properly. So you have to have seasons installed to be able to obviously buy salt, put it in. We've got a seed silo, silage, straw, and forage. Forage is an odd one because I don't know if that's supposed to say TMR, because forage is made up of straw and silage and hay. But anyway, it does say forage there. So they're 15 grand each, or you can get for 15 grand one that does all of them. So, like I say, it's entirely your choice. So that's these at the front, putting into the silo here, taking out of the silo just there. And then the buy points are under placeables and miscellaneous. And there you go. They're 15 grand as well. You place them and then you buy from them. But again, you've got individual ones if you want to buy separately, if you just want a line point somewhere, or if you just. But again, I suppose thinking about it, for me personally, if I was going to place a lime station for 15 grand anyway, and it was going to use 3 slots, why not just place one of the all-in-one silos so that wherever it is you normally go to get your lime, if for some reason you need to pick up something else, it's there. But again, it's your choice. Prices, I'm not going to go into what it costs each of them, because again, you've got so many mods available now for pallets, for buy anything silos. For, comparing prices between the base game and all the modded ones available becomes an absolute minefield. Needless to say, it is here, it is available. I do like the fact the all-in-one, like the logos are kind of raised, 3-dimensional on them. So there you go. Placeable buying silos, placeable fillable silos to 100,000 litres by McKnightG. Very nice. What we're going to do next is look at this one here. Oh, actually, there's one I want to look at that I can't technically show you. I know it sounds a bit bizarre. Under placeables and miscellaneous, we've got the RTK Station Small. This is by OmaTana. 1.32 megabytes download, 3 slots on console to place. You need to have precision farming on for that to work, because it's supposed to help your AI and it's supposed to improve speeds, and it's supposed to up to about 11% or something. It's supposed to increase your profitability and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, do not try and install it. Place one on the map if you don't have precision farming on, because if you do, it will freeze everything and crash your game, as I found to my cost. So there you go. You've got the RTK Station Small, 1,750 that can be placed if you are doing precision farming. Thought I'd do that one next. So now we've got in front of me, this is the Pallet Lattice box. This is by CaveModding. 1.32 megabytes download, 1 slot on console. This is a 2,000 litre lattice box for holding potato or sugar beet. That, at the end of the day, that's what it does. They can stack if you want to. Are you going to get lag if you put loads and loads of them on the trailer? The same as pallets, I would say, with potatoes and sugar beet. Generally speaking, you do. I actually haven't tried on my PS5 to put loads and loads of bales together or loads of pallets on a trailer, because I don't know whether it would cope with it a bit better or not. It's not something I've tried, actually. But these you'll find under... No, we want objects, don't we? Objects and pallets. There you go, the Pallet Lattice box, 50 to buy, 1 slot on console, will hold 2,000 litres. You can lease it for 2 if you want to, so if you don't want to buy a load of them, you can lease them, which is probably a cheaper way of going about it. And what I'm going to do now is try... I hope this works. Because if you've got potatoes stored, or you've got them coming out of various different... sources. Come on, there we go, work. I took the liberty of placing some here. A blue Peter moment. Here's some I prepared earlier. Please work. Because I tried to do it out of the regular silo and it wouldn't take them. There we go, potatoes. 2,000 litres worth. Well, no, don't. I think the problem is it's loading and unloading at the same time, is it? Yeah, that's peculiar. Yeah, it's unloading back into the silo at the same time. So you really want a silo that will that has a load and unload chute separately. Because having one like this, it does show it though. It will fill up. And it will also unload. How far up can I get that? Let's move that out of the way. It's kind of taking it. So it will fill up from there. And then when you get to a silo or a sell point, as you can see, it will take them straight away or sell them if you want to. So that's the Lattice pallet. Pallet Lattice, whichever way around you want to look at it. Full use with potatoes or sugar beet by CaveModding. Actually worked far better than I thought it was going to. Next up from there, I've just realised I've done it again. I meant to cut some grass. I'll have to stop in a minute and I will cut some grass because I've got a baler there. So, next up we have got these. This is the Lomma ZDK 1802 by VertexDezign. 40.55 megabytes download, and there are 3 different trailers. We've got the 1802 standard, but the 1802 comes with, if you want it as an option, an auger, so you can use it to fill up seed, fertilizer, those kind of things on the go, which is absolutely fantastic. They do have rear trailer hitches as well, which is jolly handy. Then we've got the Combi, which is a slightly larger version, but doesn't have the option, I don't think it did, for an auger on the back. And then we've got the Uni, and the Uni's an interesting one. We've got 2 options. One is a fillable one, and the other one says transportation. But it gives the option for pallet for straps, but then I couldn't get the straps to work. So I don't know if that's something that needs to be adjusted. The side opens and you can put pallets and stuff on and transport them. I think it's supposed to have straps. We'll have a quick look at that in just a second. Really, really nicely made, really nicely detailed. There's a couple of auger ones. There's a Bednar one, and I'm trying to think and make of the other one of these types of trailers with an auger on the back of it. The pipe does adjust. You get a bar there, and it slides backwards and forwards on that bar, so you can adjust the height depending on what you're putting into, which is very cool. These you'll find under tools and trailers. So we've got the ZDK 1802, the Combi and the 1802 Uni. These will set you back 20 slots for the first one, 23 for that one, 23 for that one. So under the ZDK 1802, we've got the option of 600mm, which is 17,000 litres, 800mm, which is 19,600. We can have the 600mm plus auger, so 17,000 litres with an auger. 800mm with an auger, 19,600 litres. You can have it straw loading for putting bales on, or back to standard. We've got options of standard tyres, wide tyres, or communal. And then you've got cover, no. You can have a platform on cover, or back off again. And I think that will be the same if you go for the auger as well. Yep, you can still have the cover and platform with the auger too. If we go to the Combi is much larger, so 25,400, but there's no option on that one for the auger, and there's no other size options. It's 25,400 litres, but we can have wheels, standard, wide, or communal, and then cover, platform, cover, or off. And then this is the one that's got me a little bit puzzled, because we've got the Uni. It says trailer, and it's got a size there, 19,200 litres. If I click across that, it says transport trailer, and the fill amount disappears. So I thought, okay, well, that's just for pallets and stuff, then it must be. If I go back again, we've then got the option of standard, wide, or communal, cover, platform, and then you've got overblow protection. So I wonder if it's maybe supposed to be for No, because that's still under trailer option. The overblow protection is if you're doing stuff with forage harvesters, silage being sprayed into it, that kind of thing. But if you put it on transport trailer, you don't get any of those options. So yeah, it's a bit puzzling, I'll be honest. Where's my JCB? So, with the first one, I think I went for, 19,600 litres. Cover open. If I open up my help menu, L1, my right stick side to side will adjust. You've got the handle winds, and the pipe goes up or down. So it's to full extent or back up again, which is really nice. And then we have the option for tip side. You can have overloading auger, tip side left or tip side right. So if you just want to use it as a regular trailer, put the auger right up out the way like that, and you can use it as a regular trailer. If you want to use it as an auger, you absolutely can. So what we'll do is very quickly, we'll take it to that silo here. What I will do though is put that down a little bit. Little tip, and pour out of the auger spout. So that's the first one. The second one is a regular trailer, and it has the option for tipping rear grain door. I think it's rear grain door left and right, I think. Double check. Missed the connection completely, haven't I? Yup, of course I have. So tip side left, tip side right, grain door. Oh, so it hasn't got a rear tip, it's just grain door at the back. But regardless, they do have lights and indicators. Cover open and closed. That's a regular one. Again, trailer hitch on the back, so we can hook up to, you can either hook and daisy chain together or other trailers. Now, this is where it's a bit weird. So that one there has got crop in it. That's the one that gives you a regular amount for trailer. If I hook this one up, which is the transport one, and press R1, it says fasten or unfasten tension belts. If I do that, nothing happens. I did look underneath to see if they went underneath or something, but nothing's happening. If I get out and click by where they should be, I don't know if maybe something has to be in it before the tension belts appear. It would be unusual. None of the other trailers I've ever had with tension belts have done that. But that one doesn't give you a fill level when you buy it, but weirdly, I don't know if it's going to work now. If I go to a buy point, it does come up with the option to start filling. Ah, but then it won't fill. Okay, well there you go. It was well worth checking then. Stop filling, thank you. So yeah, I'm assuming that one is then just going to be for transporting pallets and things like that, whatever you want to take. But I'm not sure about the tension strap thing. I think that may be need to be adjusted. I don't know. It may be supposed to be coming like that. So that's the Lomma ZDK 1802 by VertexDezign. Moving on from there, we have got the Kuhn FB3135 baler. This is 2.98 megabytes, I think it is. Where are we on the list? 2.98 megabytes download, 8 slots on console. This is by Rollick 410 Farmer LS. It's a round baler. And to show it being used, bear with me just a second because I didn't cut any grass. Very nice tidy mod. This you'll find under tools, under baling technology. There you go, the FB3135, 56 grand to buy, 68 horsepower required to pull it. It will run at 12 miles per hour. Like I said, 8 slots. There are no options available, you get it as it is. As if by magic, shopkeeper appeared. And so we have some grass ready to go. Unfold it, like so. So that's it in folded position, that's it unfolded. Turn it on, drop the pickup. And it works just like another round baler. It does 4,000 litre bales. When we get to 4,000, like so. L1 and triangle to open the back. L1 and triangle to close it, and away we go again. So there you go, the KUHN FB3130, if you know, you know, 3135 by Rolnick 410 and Farmer LS. Moving on from there, let's have a look at these, shall we? We have got the, where are they on my list? The old sheds for Bales. This is by Cisek, 2.96 megabytes download. The smaller one is 7 slots, the larger one is 9 slots. They're just shelters. You can put vehicles under, it doesn't have to be bales. There's no lighting under them, so there's no light switches. Really nicely made, a few little bits of added detail around the edges of them. But it will keep your stuff stored nicely out of the way in case of inclement weather, especially if you are running seasons. These you'll find under placeables and sheds. Shed for bales, 30,000, that's the 7 slot one. And then the large bale shelter is 50,000, that's 9 slots. And they are both by Cisek. Moving on from there, we have got these. These are, well, this is the metal sheds pack. There are 2 in this pack. There's a green one and a grey one. I've put the green one out. I think the grey one is identical. It's just grey. 5 slots for each of them. 4.53 megabytes download. These are by ORModding. Nicely detailed. I do like it when you get the kind of, that kind of dirt look. It looks like something's been used, you know, it's been in place for a while. Again, no lighting under these, so there's no light switch. Small to medium machinery, you're not going to get much bigger stuff in here because the stanchions, obviously, you've only got a certain amount of space between them. But a nicely made, nicely detailed shelter. Again, you will find these under placeables and sheds. The green metal shed and the grey metal shed, they are 18,000 each and 5 slots for each. And those are by ORModding. Moving on from there, we've got the modern Polish house. Yes, by Pavelk 20, 8.79 megabytes download, 5 slots on console. It is very modern looking. If I go up to the front door here, press L3. I'm not tired, but that's where you will sleep through the night if you want to. There is a light switch here which turns the light on out the front. Nicely detailed. It does look very modern. One slight drawback, and it could be the map. I will say that now, it could be the map. But we do have a garage door here. And we do have a light switch inside for the garage, which is very, very nice indeed. However, it hasn't sat flush with the ground. So it's raised up. So if you are going to use that as a garage, you've got quite a bump up there to get in and out of it. That's the only thing I came across that could cause a bit of a problem. I don't think we can go inside it. No. I thought I'd better check. I was pretty sure you could. Very nicely made. Because this is a sleep trigger, you will find this under farmhouses. 65,250 to buy. Did I say how many slots it was? I think I did, didn't I? Yeah, 5 slots. So not too heavy on the slot count. There are cheaper alternatives. There are more expensive alternatives. But if you're looking for a modern Polish house by Pavelk 20, that may be the one you want. Moving on from there, we've got a couple of bits of equipment down the front. Then we'll go onto the vehicles and we'll work our way around. I will try and get it all done as quickly as I can. Now, I don't have any weeds. I don't do weeds. Weeds drive me up the wall. I know I need to do more with them and practice with them, but this is the Grimme GH4 Weeder. It's by Hadrien. 5.32 megabytes download, 7 slots on console. It's a mechanical weeder. This is to be used when the weeds are in their infancy. When weeds become adult, fully grown, you need to use herbicide to get rid of them. But when they are young and they've just come through the ground, you can use a mechanical weeder. And this is one such thing. Very nicely made, nicely detailed. You will find this under tools and under weeders. Like I say, because I don't run them, I'm not going to show you it working. I don't. It's just something I don't do. Like I say, weeds drive me mad. It requires 70 horsepower. It's 3 meters wide. It will run at 7 miles per hour. As it says down the bottom there, weeders pull out small grown weeds between crops, improving the field state. They can only be used in the first growing stage of crops. No options available. You get it as it is. Very nice indeed. There you go. So that's the Grimme GH4 Weeder by Hadrien, or Hadrien. Sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. Next up, we've got this. This is the Düvelsdorf Transport Box HD. This is by Bayern-Agrar Noah 1735 LS. 2.81 megabytes to download and 4 slots on console. You'll find it under weights, but it is a box that opens. I think it has a 1,100 litre capacity to it. It does have lights on the front as well. So if you want a front weight but you want to be able to maybe store a couple of bits, you can put tools in it, maybe a broom, shovel. If you've got those types of things, you absolutely can. Just something else to add into the sort of collection of equipment. So I just realised I left my JCB over there. We'll have a look at it in here first. You'll find it under weights. There you go, 1,999 to buy. Only 4 slots. Options available, there are none. You get it as it is, like so. Bear with me just a moment. So, now we're on the tractor. You can raise and lower it like so. If you put the lights on, you've got lights on the front as well. If we open it, L1 and left on the D-pad opens and closes. I don't think it has straps actually. No, it's just for putting stuff in. I don't think, actually looking at it again in weights, yeah, whilst it says in the mod hub that it has a 1,100 litre capacity, I think that's probably in the real world, because on here it doesn't show that it has a literage, if you know what I mean. So it's not like you can put crops in it or seed or feed, or you might be able to put feed bags in there, because there are individual bags you can buy, chicken feed and those kind of things, so maybe some of that will go in there. If not, you can just use it as a front weight if you want to use it as a front weight. Close it like so, drop it like so. There you go. The Düvelsdorf Transport Box HD. I've lost it on my list. By Bayern-Agrar and Noah 1735 LS. Moving on, we've got this. This is the Case IH Puma CVX Tier 3. This is by STv-Modding. 14.6 megabytes download, 27 slots on console. We do have a few options available. It's a nice looking tractor. It may look nice, but it sounds even better. It sounds brilliant. A few options available on it. We do have a skylight sunroof that opens, left door and rear window, I think, if I recall correctly. Again, quite a few mods today. I can't remember which ones did which. This you will find under vehicles and medium tractors. So there you go, CVX Tier 3, 178 grand for the base model. We can change the rim colour. The one I went for was the next grey, which gives you a more metallic grey. I really like that. There's a black matte, and then we go into kind of regular colours as we go across, but that was the one I'd like that a lot. Main colour, we can have standard. We can have red metal, or the red matte, which I think again was what I went for. There is also a black and a black matte, and then a grey. You notice the around the grille and part of the fenders, wheel arches, you've got that strip that's still red. You can still see those bits there. That's under design colour. So if I change the main colour back to, let's go with red matte. They're red at the moment. If I go to design colour, you've got the option of black, so it changes the fins inside by the grille and the back of the mudguard to black, or gold, which puts them to gold. I think that changed the centre of the hubs as well. No, I didn't. I just imagined that. So you've got a bit of a gold kind of fleck in there as well. Options for tyres. We've got Trelleborg, we've got Michelin, Mitres and Nokian. Mitres and Nokian are both standard. You've got communals and you've got standards under Mitres. Under Trelleborg, we've got standard. We've got wheel weights, wides, wider weights, narrows, rear twin, twins all round, back to standard under the Trelleborg. Under Michelin, we've got standard, wides, wide and weights, and back to standard. So there's no narrows or twin rears and all round on the Michelins. Then you've got interior design. At the moment it's black, or you can have it with a grey and red. So a sort of cream, tan and black, and then grey and red. And then design standard, or the platinum edition puts a sort of chromed cover on the exhaust. Engine size, the 200 CVX is 225 horsepower, 225 is 252, the 230 is 269, and then the 230 CVX Platinum takes you to 270 horsepower. Those are the options available. That already sounds nice. Horn, beacons, lights. I love the sound of that. Inside, nicely detailed. A lot going on there. If I turn the lights off, then back on again, everything lights up. And then if I open up my help menu, because I can't remember which one it was under. So L1, right stick side to side, does the rear window. Right stick up and down, does the left door. And then R1 and right stick side to side opens and closes the sunroof. I was going to say skylight then, sunroof. L1 and R1, you've got your usual controls. Does sound good. So there you go. That's the Case IH Puma CVX Tier 3 by STv-Modding, which brings me on to these. Oh, PeterJ is back with a bang. PeterJ did some phenomenal mods on FS19. The Massey Ferguson stuff by PeterJ I loved. There was a little yellow like construction one. Oh, it was brilliant. I think I used it on the West Coast, I think. Anyway, regardless of that, we've got the Massey Ferguson 135, 10.65 megabytes download, 8 slots on console by PeterJ, as I've just said. And we've got a few configuration options, as you can see. We can have lights on the side, we can have lights in the front, there's a hanger for weights, we can have it with cab, we can have it with the exhaust at the front there. We've got a front loader option, there's a grille option, actually I'll need to show that, wide tyres, and we have 2 front loaders available as well. That's the larger of the 2 I think I picked up, yeah, pretty sure it was. But a lovely looking mod, really nicely did. Look, even the Massey Ferguson logo on the, I'm gonna say, oil filter. I know people say that's the fuel filter, you idiot. Pretty sure it's the oil filter. Anyway, regardless, very nice. Very, very small horsepower. I think it's 45 horsepower maximum, but who cares? Anyway, let's look at the options because we do have a few. This you'll find under, well, I nearly went to large tractors then, definitely small tractors. 10,700, that's a must-have, isn't it, on any farm for 10,000? Of course it is. Options available. We can change the rim colour to Massey Ferguson red, which I think looks lovely. Design colour, you can have white or black. Nothing changes at the moment. That's the exhaust stack. So you can change that and change the exhaust stack colour. Then we've got the options. This one of those menus, unfortunately, this one. We've got standard. You can have a front guard, front weights frame, 200 kilogram weight, back to standard. Then on the back we've got shell type fenders, or we can go for flat top fenders, which puts the exhaust up rather than down and out the back as it is at the moment underneath. If you go for those ones, it puts it out at the front. We've got headlights standard as they are there, or out to the side headlights. Wheel setup standard, wheel weights wide, rear twins, narrows, or back to standard. So quite a few options available. engine setup, the 135. Now, it says 45 horsepower there anyway. Then the 135 multi-power, but it still says 45 horsepower. So I don't know if the horsepower does actually change. But just the fact it says multi-power on it, it's good enough for me. And then we've got front loader attacher, yes or no. So if you go for the front loader, and I think you do need to use the compatible one that comes with this for it to work properly. But I'm pretty sure after flat top fenders, we have got cab. Oh, went too far out then. Or back to shell type fenders. Shell type, flat top fenders, cab. Very cool. Let's jump in it. On it. Oh, it looks I mean, again, it's subjective because I love tractors like this. So for me, I just think it's a beautiful looking thing. If you don't like these sorts of tractors, you don't like small tractors, you're going to hate it. But I just think it looks fantastic. First person. Again, clean, crisp. Lights, rear lights, and off. That's it. If we go to the in-cab version with twins, door opens and closes. In-cab. Again, really nicely detailed. I do love the fact when you look at the back, it's open down to the 3-point and the hitch. And then we have got the front loaders, which you'll find, surprise, surprise, under tools and front loaders. Right at the very end, we've got the systematic short for 1,100, 3 slots, and the systematic standard 1,950, also 3 slots. Once you've bought one, the price drops. You can have it main colour of red, or you can have it black if you wanted to. That's entirely your choice. But then when you hook it up, obviously you've got a much better reach on the standard. The short one is obviously shorter. And that will work with, it doesn't come with a set of equipment or anything with it, but that will work with front loader equipment. If you pick something heavy on the front, as I did when I tried to do the thumbnail, that seemed fairly heavy, so I had to put a rear weight on the back, which I did with a barrel weight. But that's the Massey Ferguson 135 by PeterJ. Lovely. Moving on from there, we've got this. This is the John Deere 4500. This is a telehandler. This is by MefiuFs, 9.19 megabytes download, 8 slots on console. Is it just me? I think it might be. It might be the shape of the cab there. Does anyone remember the old Lamborghini 4x4? Not the new one they've done, not the hypercar one, but the old one that's like a little tank. Every time I look at that, it's got that kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm imagining it. Nice looking mod. A few options available for tyre configurations to give you a kind of chunky stance. I do like the back section for the engine there. It's got a real meaty look to it. Very cool. This you'll find under vehicles and telehandlers. Price-wise, only 60 grand, which is fairly cheap. Horsepower's pretty low though, I'll be honest. So it's kind of somewhere between, I reckon, like a front loader vehicle and a telehandler as far as horsepower requirement goes. But it's got the wide wheelbase of a telehandler and the longer reach of a telehandler. So for 60 grand, not bad at all, really. We've got the option of miters, Michelin, Trelleborg, knock-ins, and back. Under miters, you've got the multi-purpose tyre. Zoom in a little bit. Under Michelin, we've got standard, or we've got multi-purpose, which puts a smoother tread on, like so. Under Trelleborg, we've got standard, and we've got wides, and a multi-purpose. And then under knock-in, we've got communal, and we've got a wide communal tyre, and then back to the Mitas again. There's no colour options. It comes in John Deere green and yellow. Lights, beacon on top, horn, what I like as well, it's not a reskin. It's not like, oh okay, so someone's just taken the telehandler and just whacked John Deere colours on it. Not at all. That doesn't look like any other one we've got. The rear hitch does work on, I used it on those trailers over there, the Lomma ones. It works on pin hitch trailers. As you can imagine, or you would hope. Now, again, like I said, it's somewhere between a telehandler and a front loader vehicle, because that boom reach isn't as long as some we have. But again, for 60 grand, that's not too bad, is it? And for a John Deere, a slot count of 8. Shh, don't tell anyone, otherwise they'll put the slot count up to about 90 or something silly like that. In cab, nicely detailed. Visibility is pretty good. Mirrors work, which is always nice, isn't it? Very cool. So there we go. That's the John Deere 4500 by MefiuFs, which brings me on to, if I'm not mistaken, the last mod for today. The Magic Pallet. This is the wool pallet. This isn't, this is a set of forks, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Let's just put that there. That's why I finished with this. Again, it's almost like I planned these things, isn't it? Reusable wool pallet. This is by MISSYB. It's 0.26 megabytes download and 3 slots on console for each pallet. So this is one of those ones, again, people either love it or they'll hate it. I think it's phenomenal. Such a clever idea. Makes life so much easier, especially when you've got spawn points for wool pallets like this that will take 4 pallets. If you skip through the night or you're busy doing other things and you kind of, you miss it, it fills up very quickly. The pallets usually only take 1,000 litres now. It was 2,000 litres on FS19. It's down to 1,000 litres. There are a few different mods available for containers and all sorts of things that will take pallets and save space and that kind of thing. But if you've got a lot of pallets, it can cause lag. It will use up slot counts and all that kind of thing. So this Magic Pallet combats that hugely. You will find it under Objects and Pallets. And there we have it. Wool pallets for 500. Look at the capacity. 64,000 litres you can have it if you want it, but you don't have to. So you can have it small. It will hold 6,000 litres rather than the 1,000 that we normally have. You can have it medium, 8,000 litres, large, 10,000, extra large, 12,000, 2XL, 16, 4XL, 32, or an 8XL at 64,000 litres of wool. Now I know that's not at all realistic. And it's that weird thing I was saying when I was doing Eureka Farms the other day. It's weird how some mods can't get past giants and they'll say, well, you can't do that, that's ridiculous. And then some do. But again, shh. If you tell them, they'll take it away. This particular one is a 64,000 litre pallet. If I go into my animals menu, you'll see that wool, at the moment, I've got 61,166 litres of wool in that pallet. That one pallet. That will use 3 slots. It won't cause me any lag, any grief, any aggro. If I put 4 of them on there, I could leave my sheep for years and not have to worry. So what I'm going to do, because I'm curious, it should sell as wool should do. I'm going to do it as sell point, not a spinnery, but doesn't matter. So there you go, 61,166 litres of wool in that pallet. It is reusable, so what should happen now is my money, as it is, should start going up. Very nice indeed. We'll chug away for a minute. that's pretty cool. That's by MISSYB. If you want to use it, use it. If you don't. You don't have to. You don't have to use any of them if you don't want to. 58 grand. For wool. That pallet is genius. I love it. And it'll work incredibly well. And as if by magic, I didn't mean to do that, but that looked like I meant it as well. There you go. That's it for the mods for today. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.